Well, here's why. People don't realize that you have to contact at least 6 different offices in order to get like a $8,000 rent grant, or more or less, or whatever. It depends on where you live. And it shows up now in an article I just read in Topeka, Kansas. What they're doing is having it centralized. See, they give money to like 5 or 6 different nonprofit organizations around their city that have rent money and other down payment money and stuff like that for people to solve housing problems. Well, how many people know? Where do you find this? Well, here's the process now that we tell our members to do. One, you go to this website, ncsha.org. That's a state listing of all the organizations in this country that give out the national rent grant. See, that's another one besides the local rent grants. There's a national rent grant. So what you have to do first is find out the local office to apply for the national rent grant. And you do that there. Now what you have to do is find the local offices. Like Topeka, Kansas now is what they did, a separate hotline to put all those local offices into one number you could call and apply to all of them at once, so you don't have to tell your story over and over again. If you live in Topeka, here's the number, 785-368-9533, 785-368-9533. If you're not in Topeka, what you do is you go to 211.org and findhelp.org. And you don't call them, you search them for rent. Put the keyword rent, and you'll find a half a dozen or maybe a dozen organizations that are involved in helping you solve rental problems or housing problems. You call every one of them. That's the only way to do it. If they're not organized like Topeka, which they probably aren't, you have to call every one of them. And there's no shortcut to this. Sure, you could call 1 or 2 and they'll say there's no more rent grant money, and you'll go home and not realize you had another 5 places to check. And that's what it's all about. Researching is about doing numbers. Numbers mean making a call after call after call to get something. And that's what we train you at Let's Go Help. Not only do we show you all the websites, we train you. We have training sessions, live training sessions, 3 or 4 times a week to help you understand this process and how to get money for anything you want in the government. Man, you're eligible for so many things, but the government doesn't tell you. So it looks like we got the job of educating America. It looks like nobody else is going to do it, right? So it's up to us. And we also give out grants. Every month we give out $40,000, and the next deadline is November 4th. So you have till November 4th to make the deadline and get $1,000. We're giving out 40 grand.